Lighting could be better. Butts with the ring light.
Did you disturb Nigel?
Yes,
The star.
I did disturb Nigel. All right, let's try that. See if that falls and breaks everything. That's fine. And the lighting is still shit. Oh, I tried. Adam, don't turn around suddenly. You'll hit the ring light.
Well, I'm trying to test the audio. I'm not hearing anything, but I'm on double.
All right. Can you hear anything, Cassidy?
Yes, there we go. Audio coming in.
Yay, audio is working. Hopefully Nigel will not sit on it again like last time. Oh, and the people are pouring in. Oh, damn. Got like as many people in the chat at one time as I usually have in a stream ever.
You've been up to 15 before.
I suppose.
Or 17, 21. Where'd Nigel go?
He's over there giving me the cold shoulder. He'll be back. I'm sitting underneath a heated blanket. He will be back. There's heated blanket space to be had. All right, we have 9 cards to draw tonight, and I should warn everyone that this is a 0 brain cells day for me. So like, this could be bad. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So like, yeah, I might be like especially choosy about what I draw because my brain is like, woo, bye. You didn't need me for anything today, did you? You don't get me. All right.
I've used AI to assist in prompt generating for our themes. And
Firelight has suggestions as well, of course.
Not giving us a theme. So I'd like to have emotions and destinations, whether fantasy or realistic.
I don't do landscapes, so destinations is going to be tough.
I mean, we'll go easy, and you have veto power.
Just be like the Shire. I just draw like one little bump and put a door on it. Perfect.
Yes.
Firelight also has suggestions, and they're for once not unhinged, which maybe tonight it's better. But feel free to drop any suggestions. Yeah, it's kind of, the theme is kind of cozy fall. Like that's what I was kind of thinking of, but I didn't like lock it in. So lock it in. I don't even know what I want to draw for my first one while you guys think of suggestions. Like,
it's all right, Firelight, this is your chance. Go. What's your favorite?
It's like brain and brain. What is brain? I don't know. I got nothing.
Could do Star Trek theme.
Star Trek theme, yeah. I think we established that my audience doesn't really watch Star Trek. Like last time, or not last time, maybe a couple times ago, I was throwing down Star Trek references and nobody got it.
Cursed Content is helping me out here. They've got a destination is Light Lark with the emotion exhausted retail salesperson.
See, the problem is I don't know how to draw a Light Lark because like it was so poorly described.
A grassy field.
An island of some kind. I'm just sketching something to start out while you guys can feel free to share your suggestions. I'm just drawing something cozy to get us started. Light Lark did have a floating mountain at one point.
At one point, did it stop floating?
No, that was only in one chapter, and we never saw it again, though. So it was
it might have stopped floating.
It might have stopped floating, yeah. Like they were like, here's a floating mountain that's like culturally significant to these people. That's it.
You could do Bill the Pony.
Bill the Pony.
I believe that's Sam's pony.
Yes, of course it's Sam's pony. Good old Bill.
That is from Nico. Curse content also suggests Isla selling pumpkin spice lattes.
Isla.
Also, Space Cat Scribbles declares that they watch Star Trek. Have they missed the Star Trek discussion?
Probably. I don't remember you being here, Space Cat, for any of the Star Trek. The days when I tried to bring up Star Trek and just got nothing but crickets.
Have you decided on your first thing, by the way, Julie?
I am sketching my first thing.
All right, Firelight. I'll hold off on your further suggestions until Julian catches up.
I mean, you can keep making suggestions, but
They are making suggestions.
Okay.
So I'm just not confusing you with.
I have the song "I'm Just Ken" stuck in my head for anyone who's wondering. Also, everyone say hi to Adam because he is able to join us tonight, and that is very exciting. And I will do 100% better with Adam involved than I do without.
100% better.
99% better.
I mean, the real linchpin is Nigel, who is hovering.
He's thinking about ways that he can either knock over my light or sit on my microphone.
I don't wanna. I'm too entertained, so I'll start sharing some of the further suggestions after Isla selling pumpkin spice, which Firelight also mentions tiger licking its paws next to a sign for a turkey farm. Feathers are everywhere. So the destination is the turkey farm. We also got cheetah cubs in a hayloft, bringing back the red panda telling campfire stories.
Red pandas are cute and round. I could see maybe doing a red panda.
Space Cat suggests tribbles on the DS9 promenade.
Bold of you to assume that I can accurately express the DS9 promenade in postcard form.
I mean, the promenade's like the top thing. So you just need like
a railing and then a pile of triples.
And they're elevated because it's like the second floor.
No, I think does the promenade count as like the whole like area where all the shops and everything are?
I mean, kind of, but the promenade itself is the overlook of the shop areas. That's where like Odo leans suspiciously.
And where Jake and Nog sit around and plot their latest ill-fated schemes.
Indeed.
Where Kira likes to stand and tell people about her rebellion days. It's good. It's an all-purpose set.
Firelight also suggests an angry opossum, specifically angry at Black Friday shoppers. You get to decide how.
That would also be difficult to express the Black Friday shoppers.
Well, it could just be an opossum that was hanging out by a store and got rudely awoken up. So
I'll just make him wearing a Walmart smock. Angry Walmart employee possum.
Firelight, after declaring their love for me, suggests Bigfoot in a pumpkin patch. Perhaps with a pumpkin on his foot, perhaps with a pile of infinite pumpkins. He's very distressed and sad, this Bigfoot is, because their spouse will not let them take home their infinite pile of pumpkins.
I feel like you may be internalizing this one a little bit, Adam. All right, my first one was just a cute little hedgehog with a hot chocolate because I needed to draw something cute and animal-y to get it out of my system. Hedgehog with in a little sweater, got a sweater, and he's got hot chocolate. All right.
Allison suggests a donkey with a pumpkin cart, and again, it can be a sad, distraught donkey because their spouse is not letting them take the cart full of pumpkins home.
I feel like if the donkey is like attached to the cart, then it would be being allowed to take them home. But actually, that kind of does give me another idea. So I might try to draw it. See if I can draw a pumpkin cart. I'm really bad at things that are like not animals. That's all there is to it. Like anything that's like a square shape, rectangle shape, anything that has uniformity, I am bad at. Which includes buildings, vehicles, just anything really.
All right, cursed content is correcting me or informing us all. A fun fact: Alex Astor said her name is Isla, even though it's usually Isla, yet also said Isla.
I think it might, and Adam is bad at pronouncing things. I think it might be pronounced Isla, but like I pronounced it for far too long as Isla to probably be able to make myself pronounce it as Isla. If she was a real person, I would be more concerned with the pronunciation of her name. Sorry to all the people out there named Isla who are also in fantasy lands making terrible choices. It's kind of a Kaleo situation. His name is Kaleo. I've heard it pronounced, and I still will pronounce it Kaleo because that's how it read to me the first time in my brain.
Just like Tar-Valon and Tarvalin and Tarvalin.
Tarvalin?
Yes.
That's how I heard it pronounced, I think.
The show likes to say Tar-Valon.
Tarvalon. I mean, that does sound more like magical land-y, I guess.
True.
Oh man, this is already looking disastrous. This is what happens when I try to draw shapes.
Once I get a little bit farther through whatever the donkey cart has inspired, I'll go back through our list of other suggestions. But feel free, chat, to think up new ones. We must cram Julian's brain full of ideas. Our real star is beginning to make
Here he comes. Nige, you can't sit on my lap, buddy. I got drawing on my lap. You can sit next to my lap. Here, I'll spread out the heated blanket for you. Okay, you can sit right there, bud. Yeah, he doesn't want to. He doesn't like that idea, but he's maybe willing to accept it. Gonna make some biscuits? Oh, you can't see because all you can see is like his butt. But he's making biscuits. All right, these pumpkins are looking more and more like footballs by the second.
The pumpkins grow in all sorts of shapes. Apparently, can even grow in like face shapes and stuff. So I'm sure you're fine. What is the opposite of a pumpkin cart?
The opposite of a pumpkin cart.
A pumpkin chest, a pumpkin bag,
a pumpkin
hole,
a pumpkin pie.
A pumpkin pie. The opposite of a pumpkin cart is a cart pumpkin, like
a cart pumpkin,
like the Disney Cinderella story, where it's like a cart that is magically made out of a pumpkin. So instead of,
I mean, that's not just Disney. That's like the Cinderella story in general.
I know, but the Disney cartoon one made it look very pumpkin-y afterwards, you know. Firelight suggests a pumpkin horse.
Pumpkin horse, huh?
Yeah, you should make like produce-inspired animals. Like pumpkin horse, or like a carrot cat, or
Carrot cat.
kind of like the Cabbage Patch Kids, but like less creepy and more fun. I'm like, maybe it would be a cabbage kitty. That might make a better kitty. Cursed content would suggest a cart shaped like a pumpkin with pumpkin wheels and whatever the opposite is inside. And it could be a person inside. Someone recently grew a pumpkin boat and tried to paddle it somewhere.
Did it work?
I think like he got a decent distance, but I forget. I think he was like turned back by the Coast Guard or something like that.
Damn Coast Guard, I was ruining everyone's fun.
A pumpkin full of carts. There we go. There's an idea from Scribble Cats. A pumpkin full of carts. Or Bigfoot. A pumpkin full of Bigfoot.
We are getting appropriately unhinged tonight.
I don't think that's appropriately unhinged. That's very mildly unhinged.
Pumpkin full of carts?
It's very
Compared to what
nearly
we've had.
hinged. Do you know how many hinges are on carts of pumpkins?
0. I would say.
I think you're getting close to being done with this one, so I'm kind of going back, and we got hot apple cider needs to be drawn, or an exhausted retail salesperson in Light Lark.
I am thinking about drawing the Walmart, the exhausted or angry Walmart possum.
We got Bill the pony. We got Isla selling pumpkin spice latte. A tiger licking its paws next to a sign for a turkey farm.
How would people know that it was Isla, whatever. I'm gonna call her Isla. How would people know that it was her? Because she just looks like some brando. Like she just looks like all of the girlies.
You give her like no face, so she can be like the actual blank slate Tabula Rasa for us all. We've got cheetah cubs in a hayloft. We've got Red Panda telling campfire stories, Tribbles on the promenade, Angry Opossum during Black Friday, Bigfoot at a pumpkin patch, Donkey with a pumpkin cart. A pumpkin horse, a pumpkin full of carts. All right. That's our list.
I can't even draw one cart, so drawing a pumpkin full of them probably not
like
going to be a thing.
Toy carts. It'd just be like a little rectangle with a circle for a wheel and a whole bunch of them. Cursed content mentions they are pondering. Cinderella arrives at the ball. Someone points at her carriage and says, "Hey, a giant pumpkin." Cinderella starts sweating. What? Who told you that? It's just a regular cart. A new suggestion is a thorn crown with roses.
All right, here's the donkey cart for you, Callison. It's a chubby donkey. Stealing.
Aspirational goals there for you.
Yep. All right. I do need to kind of I in theory I know what possums look like, but I should look it up because I always kind of when I try to draw them from memory, I get their head shape wrong. So now I am. Oh my God, they're so cute. I'm sorry. There's just a very cute image of a possum was the first one that popped up, and they're so friggin' cute.
They are.
Everybody answer in the comments which of the forbidden cats is your favorite. So raccoons, foxes, possums. Is there one more forbidden cat?
The skunk.
Or a skunk.
You inserted foxes. It's a skunk.
Oh, is it just? I've seen it with a fox. I've seen the meme with a fox as well. So I'll let foxes slide since I said it. But possum, fox, skunk, or raccoon. Which forbidden cat is the one that you want? Obviously, possum for me, with skunk in right behind.
I am torn between the skunk build or the raccoon. The raccoon's got a lot of unique skills, but the skunk has a more solid build in general. The raccoon is more me, but the skunk would do better in a fight. The skunk is the easy start.
Man, raccoon would do better in a fight. Those things, they'll take you out.
Well, I mean, they're not bad, but most of their okay, they're good in a fight, but most of their moves are int-based moves that aren't like don't play off their combat stats as well, you know?
By the way, this possum already is just looking very sad and disappointed. I'm not angry because, like, I don't know. I don't feel like possums look angry.
We got Callison votes for the opossum as well. Space Cat Scribbles is either the opossum or the fox. KJ Amadon is for the fox if they count, but raccoons are amazing if they don't. Callison can relate more with raccoons and their love of shinies.
Now, see, I used to be a raccoon girly, but my love of possums has grown over the years. Ugly to other people. I think they're adorable. Ugly, seemingly useless creature that's actually very useful. Plays dead rather than fighting. All show and no like actual like all bluff, no actual murderous tendencies. And also, they're just so cute. I'm sorry, they are.
Firelights on the skunk train.
Skunks are also real friggin' cute. We got close by getting ferrets because they are mustelids. But
skunks are mustelids?
Yeah, they're in the same family.
I did not know that.
Yep. Someday I would love a pet skunk, though.
Someday you would love a pet everything.
Not true.
No?
I don't want a monkey.
Okay. Very, very, yeah.
Valid. Or an African gray parrot, because like they need so much time and attention to live happy, fulfilled lives, and they live as long as you do or longer. So like I would not be able to give an African gray parrot a good life.
All right. Nearly everything. I accept your caveats there. Space Cat Scribbles. I have a tangent that probably means nothing to you or anyone in the chat, but I am hopeful. Your name reminds me of a podcast I listen to that is Space Cats and Peace Turtles. And I'm guessing your name has no relation at all to that, but they talk about a board game I love that is Twilight Imperium. Space Cat used to keep a secret pet, apparently. Years ago, there was a baby opossum in the alleyway behind their school, and it was so cute. And I imagine them going out there to hang out with it and give it treats every day and protect it from the boy bullies in the schoolyard.
Possums are the cutest.
Cursed Content inquires, are African gray parrots the ones you can teach to cuss? And I think there are many birds you can teach to cuss.
Yeah, you can teach a lot of birds to cuss. African grays, though, are the ones that you can teach the most language to. Like, they're very, very intelligent, which is a problem because they need, like, constant stimulation.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, then they're miserable and sad, and you shouldn't do that to an animal.
You should just get an African gray parrot, and then give them their own YouTube and or Twitch live stream that's just constantly going, and people can pay to chat with the parrot, and then the parrot will chat back. And it'll be constant stimulation for it and a constant income stream.
Have you seen those, people are doing, chats for their birds, people with parrots? The bird can, live chat with other birds anytime they want. So they have, a screen that they can go to and, look up their bird friends and, chat with their bird friends live.
And the parrots can control that so they can actually choose which of their bird friends to call up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. They're definitely smart enough for it. Firelight was going to suggest Flynn from the Saviors series as an opossum, because Julian kept thinking he was going to die in the original read-along.
I don't know if he's even going to be in, future books at this point. I hope so, but probably not.
Well, you hope Flynn's going to be in future Saviors Champions books?
Yeah.
And was he the Labrador or the Golden Retriever one?
No.
No.
You don't know. You wouldn't recognize him. Adam does not watch my read-alongs.
Space Cat confirms that they have no relation to space cats or peace turtles, which makes me sad.
Wouldn't it be cool if like there had been crossover and they were like, yeah, that's the I run that channel or whatever.
I could ride on the laurels of your fame to get in with the other podcasts.
Oh, bold of you to assume I have fame.
You do.
I have, wait, let me see. How many people are in my live right now?
There are a ton of us.
Whoa.
Indeed.
Whoa, snap.
That's more than I could get in my live chat, so.
That's because you don't have a YouTube channel. Like at all, so.
I mean, I could start one today and I would not get 10 people in it.
You are a guy and you do have a cute beard.
Yeah, well, you're a girl and you got a nice ass.
You see me flaunting that right now? see how well I'm flaunting it?
Yes, you drew it just a few minutes ago. All right, shoot, I've distracted myself. Space Cats said I was correct, but I don't remember what I was correct about. No.
No.
They say it was only there for like a day, but you are absolutely correct, Adam.
The possum pet, maybe?
Oh, the one in her school that she took care of and she fended off the bullies and yes, had great adventures with. Yes, that one. Firelight chimes in that people can teach ravens and crows to cuss. It's great. I still have dreams of recruiting a corvid army, but I'm a little bit hesitant now because part of the corvid army would be to chase birds of prey away from our chickens. But I've been pondering because we have like hardly any rodents in the area and in the house in particular, and we generously attributed it to Ghost, our barnyard cat outside, but they're not quite fat enough to really keep up with all of the rodents that the prairie around us could keep up. And I suspect, actually, considering the amount of clear space around us with not significant cover, it's probably more of the birds of prey keeping them out of the field. And then away
that,
from
or they could just be getting enough food and shelter out in the nature that they don't need.
Nature. That could be.
Also, we do have cute little snacky snacks around here.
Oh, that's true. The snakes could be contributing as well. Mm-hmm.
Adorable little snacky snacks.
Mm-hmm.
There's the cutest little one the other day. It was a baby one. It was so cute. All right, here is the sad possum employee. He has to put up the Black Friday sale sign and put away the Halloween sale sign, and he's sad.
Yes.
It's a whole story to that one.
Sign.
All right. Anybody else got some cute animals I can draw? Hello, Nigel. How you doing, buddy?
Chat. KK Amadon actually has an heirloom African gray parrot, and they are super smart. KJ confirms.
Yeah, you have to like leave them in your will because they live so long. If Flynn from the Saviors series was an animal, what animal would he be, chat?
All right. Chat is lagging a little bit in just a moment.
Sorry if I'm not being as entertaining as I could be here.
Yeah, do a dance. Come on.
Dance.
Firelight is fairly confident Flynn isn't a possum.
I don't know though. Is he?
He could be a Bulbasaur.
He seems a little bit too hyper to be a possum. Like he's a little bit.
Then he never actually dies.
He's more like a squirrel in my head.
Could
personally.
be a ladybug.
A ladybug?
Yeah.
I don't see a ladybug.
I see a ladybug.
Oh, you have a ladybug on your computer, but
yes. Chipmunk, KJ.
I could see him as a
thinking squirrel.
chipmunk.
Ooh, Callison suggests a flying squirrel.
I don't know about flying squirrel, but I could see him as a chipmunk. We have a chipmunk on our porch that runs back and forth. When I sit and edit videos, I like look out at my like fairy bower area, and he just all day back and forth. He uses it as his own little highway. He's a very cute little dude.
Advertisements, go away. I don't want to buy for you too.
Sorry, I did tell it to do the least possible amount of advertisements, but
Got a vote for Border Collie.
Border Collie? No, because Border Collies are too intelligent, and Flynn is. Adam now has a ladybug in his beard. You gonna get it, Nigel? You see it? Oh, he's watching it. Gonna get that ladybug, Nigel?
No,
No.
he's lazily. He's
I'm
not
gonna
watching with
I'm
intent.
gonna stare at it with disdain. That's about as good as it gets.
Mhm.
Okay, if I did a chipmunk Flynn, what would make it Flynn-like?
His hat.
His hat. Flynn doesn't have a hat, as
Doesn't?
far as I know.
Well,
From the
that's,
Savior series, he doesn't
I
have a
mean,
hat.
that's a horrible waste of a guy named Flynn. Every
It's
Flynn should have
true.
a hat.
He should.
Border Collie.
What did we decide that Layla was? 'Cause I could draw Flynn with Layla on his shoulders, because in that one scene, she sits on his shoulders to pretend to be a big person, like tall person, because they're both short. What was
Flynn could, toga. Flying squirrel with a toga.
flying squirrel with a toga? But no, I want to see it. If anybody remembers what we said Layla was. Layla was a boar. Oh shoot, that means I have to draw a boar again.
Could be an itty bitty baby boar.
Yeah, I know, but
Or
still.
it could just be a boar head and snout sticking over a shoulder.
and like a boar on top of a squirrel. Or I'm gonna rough this out and see if this if I completely can't make this work at all, then I will not attempt to draw further.
Is this number 3 or number 4?
This is 4.
Okay. Not doing too bad then. We're halfway here.
Getting there, we're getting there.
A boar sitting on a chipmunk? Yes. Firelight, that is indeed what we're going to attempt to draw.
I'm roughing it out right now.
This will most likely be a mini boar or a miniature.
Yeah, no,
boar.
she's gonna be like very small. She's
or maybe
be,
like a boar plushie.
Should be
or
appropriately
stuffy.
sized. All right, I think I can make this work.
Yes, make it work.
I still haven't finished the rough sketch, but nothing disastrous has happened so far. I have drawn anthropomorphic animals on each other's shoulders before, so I'm just like drawing from that, if you will, from that experience. Can't make her hips too big because, you know, Layla's teeny tiny like all of the girlies. The girlie in my next book is not going to be teeny tiny. She's going to be tall and muscular and a badass.
We all know that is your type.
It is my type.
You're like a woman who can pick you up and princess carry you or snap your spine.
That's true.
One or the other. Cursed content mentions looking at the artwork, Flynn's notable background object looks to be a chalice of red wine.
That's true, because he convinces, quote unquote, convinces Tobias to drink after that one scene, and then Layla's like, how could you do that? And it's like, well, you know, Tobias is an adult man. Like, Flynn suggested it, but he didn't, like, make Tobias drink.
Firelight mentions that, hey, Laurel is the prince, so maybe a crown?
Could be. I think this, if I can get this to work, the Layla on his shoulders will be the thing that clues us in.
All right. Twilight Guardian says hello. They're like, oh, hey, I caught another one of these. Evening, Julian.
Hello, Twilight Guardian.
I'm entertained because your fans in chat are all like doing tie-ins to one of my favorite board games because we've got Space Cats from Space Cats and Peace Turtles, and now we have Twilight Guardian for Twilight Imperium. So thank you all for contributing and making tie-ins to one of my favorite games.
I also cannot resist what I'm doing right now. I don't
Being
know.
the center of attention.
No, I don't know if I'm going to be able
art.
to get this drawing to work the way I want it to, but like I desperately hope that I can because this is going to be hilarious. I feel it. I will find it funny. I don't know if anyone else will find it funny. But I will find it funny.
Give me a moment. I'm trying to. Why is that little? There's like a icon thing stuck on that is getting in the way of words and things. I'm annoyed by it. Anyways.
I'm sorry.
John, I'm just disgruntled at YouTube. Old man shouts at cloud and YouTube. John Young says, which fantasy book that you read is way better than Fourth Wing, Light Lark, and the Atlas Six?
I really enjoyed Blood Like Magic, but that's contemporary fantasy. I really liked, why can't I think of titles? What have I read recently? It's fantasy. What is it called? Far Wilder Magic was okay if you're looking for a romance. That is not awful and the same thing over and over again. A Far Wilder Magic was very enjoyable. Y'all know that I love dealing with dragons. Tamara Pierce, specifically Rebecca Cooper series. A lot of people know her for the Song of the Lioness series, but honestly, I feel like that's some of not her best work because it's some of her earliest work, and you can tell it shows. But the Becca Cooper series is some of her later work, and it is very good. And the Protector of the Small series as well. Like at first, it seems really, really similar to the Song of the Lioness series, and you're like, oh, it's the same thing again, but it gets different. And also, the main character of the Protector of the Small is ace-coded, and the author did confirm, yes, she is asexual later on. So even though it's not on the page, it was confirmed.
I missed this. Curse Content mentions Layla's new art does not do a good job of making her look teeny tiny.
Well, we gotta get on that.
Firelight has a old one to bring up. If we're doing Saviors series characters, they need to bring back Delphi as a Velociraptor. Smart girl.
Clever girl. Clever girl is the quote.
Clever girl.
Yes.
Sorry.
Didn't we draw her as like a peacock at some point? I feel like we did.
So Twilight Guardian, with the generic words Guardian and Twilight that come up so much, have had so many people ask for or think that their name is because of a current popular video game or media for like 15 years. And it's funny.
How did you choose Twilight Guardian? Is it just one of those things where you were like younger and it sounded cool? Or older and it sounded cool, I suppose. It definitely seems like one of those things that a teenager would name themselves online.
As we wait for that answer, well, I'm catching up with the chat. We do have some Becca Cooper hype. Cursed Content and Callison are both on board and agree that, yeah.
I love that. It's like, I really enjoy fantasy police. Like police in real life, no thank you. But police in fantasy stories, I really enjoy. I also like Terry Pratchett's Guard series. Like that's my favorite one. I have a hard time with Pratchett because I do like a plot and he doesn't. But I love his writing. I love his characters and I love his writing, but I really wish that he would have plots and then he would be like the perfect author for me. But he doesn't do that. So I have read a decent amount of Pratchett, but every time I'm like, I would love you more. I would love you more if you would have a plot.
Let's see. Going off Terry Pratchett, and we'll catch up with some of the other chat. Cursed Content. Consider Terry Pratchett's Tiffany Aching series.
I did read, I think, one book from that series, and it just like there's several Terry Pratchett series that have read one book from, and they didn't speak to me. The Guards series is the only one that I've like sought out multiple books from, and I've read several of his like standalones, like Monstrous Regiment, which I did review on my channel. And I think The Hogfather technically is a standalone, even though it does feature death in it.
All right, Firelight either has an amazing memory or has your old stream up as they're watching. They say we did Leela as a boar, Tobias as a retriever, Cosima as a swan, Pippa as a bunny, Varantis as a frog, and Shepherd as a sheep. So that's why we now need, is it Leela as a velociraptor?
Layla.
Or as a little pug, Boston Terrier? What is different Layla. John Young asks, are there any books that you want to read before the end of 23?
I am not the kind of person who plans out my reading for pleasure. I'm a mood reader. So like I've got a bunch of books. I've got a bunch of books, like audiobooks on my phone right now that I've downloaded from the library or whatever. And whenever I finish, I'm reading Page Boy right now, which is Elliot Page's memoir, or listening to it, I should say. And when I finish that, I'm just going to see what I'm in the mood for. I've got some thrillers on there. I've got some fantasy on there.
Did Page Boy win the vote for our book club?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I actually didn't check. I was just reading it because I wanted to read it.
Oh, it's on the list, and I voted for it.
Okay, so well,
you might be ready for the book club.
I might be ready for the book club. Definitely gonna want to listen to that one if you're listening to it on like a higher speed, because he reads so slowly. I accidentally before I turned the speed up, I was like, oh my god. Somebody told him to read slowly and clearly, and he took it to heart.
All right. Space Cat Scribbles mentions a little bit earlier, they didn't know that Kel got confirmed as ace. That's amazing.
Yep, the author did confirm it because somebody was like, someone was like, hey, I always headcanoned her as ace, and the author was like, I kind of did too, and why don't I just make it canon, like,
I mean,
hate to do a JK Rowling, but back when she wrote it, I don't think she really knew what, like, there was a name for asexuality, so that's probably why she didn't it's a fantasy book, so they didn't have the word asexuality, but she didn't confirm it within the story, probably because I don't think she really knew about that yet necessarily, but yeah.
I'm getting chat out of order now.
Uh-oh.
Curse Content sends their condolences, but I can't recall what for.
Condolences. Uh-oh.
It was a much earlier comment. So Twilight Guardian, where they came up with their name, they wanted to reference their first OC that they wanted to write for as their first novel. She's now known as the Chimera Queen. So she used to be the Twilight Guardian. Now she's the Chimera Queen.
Chimera Queen?
Chimera Queen, one of those. Yeah. Chimera Queen.
All right. Oh my goodness. I kind of love this, even though it is so bad.
That's why you
all right. I could not resist drawing them doing the whole General Kenobi thing that the meme, people sit on each other's shoulders and they both have like plastic lightsabers. Could not resist doing it with Flynn.
All right, that's not exactly
Leia on his shoulders.
What I anticipated, but
better is better than you anticipated.
All right, I'm gonna scroll back through our suggestions from before, and hopefully come up with something. People can throw new suggestions out for card number 6. Cheetah cubs in the hayloft. The tiger licking his paws again next to the turkey farm sign. Isla selling pumpkin spice. We're just selling pumpkins.
Okay, what animal would Isla from Light Lark be?
Beats me. We'll scroll to the chat. Maybe the chat will help us.
Will help us. Adam has not read.
Axolotl. Isla would be an axolotl.
Oh my god. I kind of love it.
I mean, KJ said axolotl print, so they might be trying to suggest.
But I kind of like Isla as an axolotl. I need to look up what one of those looks like. I can't spell it either. Axolotl? Yes? Ah, there's an O. Axolotl. Such a cute little goober. And just real dumb. So. All right.
All right, so you're starting on it, so I can catch up with other chat.
Yes, you can.
So Firelight is hitting the Delphi Velociraptor drum, and they really need to be a Velociraptor because the long toe claws helps Leela cut people's toes off like they do in book 2. And in fact, you could do a little Velociraptor with a claw out, cutting off a toe, and like looking over out from the car with a grin, like, I see nice.
I'm still totally obsessed with that cute dinosaur game, and the Velociraptors in that are like the appropriate size, and they have feathers, and they're really cute. All right, can I draw an axolotl? That's the next question.
All right, I need that. Would you, John Young asks, would you make the best books of 23 and worst books of 23 videos before the end of the year? Is that something you got on your list?
Yes, I do have a best and worst on my docket. However, I usually do it after the year has flipped around. Some people are already doing them, and I'm like, I'm going to read more books before the end of the year. What if my next absolute favorite book happens, I finish it on the 31st of December, you know?
Edit the video then, reshoot it.
Reshoot it, oh good, yeah. Just in time for the videos to not be making me as much money.
Space Cat mentions they think the Becca Cooper series specifically, and all of Tamara Pierce's works, to be honest, are really underrated in their opinion.
They are super underrated.
And they've never met anyone else who's read them, and a lot of their friends read fantasy. Space Cats, your friends don't read the right fantasy.
That's right. I don't know. I think part of it might be, my thinking is that her most famous one is Song of the Lioness. And it's not terribly well written because it was her first. And like she just gets better. She's one of those authors who you can watch her get better. And it's like, nobody knows about the Becca Cooper series. Like if they've heard of Tamara Pierce, they know Song of the Lioness and maybe the Trickster series, which is my second least favorite. And they don't know like the good ones, in my opinion, which is The Protector of the Small and Becca Cooper. And probably my third favorite is the Wolf Speaker series, mostly for the guy. Like I don't often have book boyfriends. I can't remember his name. I want to say it's like Navarre or something like that. Anyway, he can get it. He's very hot.
Anyways, Space Cats, Christmas Prezzies for all of your reader friends is the first book in the Becca Cooper series. So yeah.
It also doesn't help that the Becca Cooper series got the worst covers. They are the ugliest covers. And I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't pick that up but from the cover alone either.
Firelight mentions from an earlier conversation that Ace Rep has basically been in the dark ages until about 2018.
Yep.
I mean, yeah. John Young is curious, do you hate J.K. Rowling or don't like her Harry Potter books?
I don't like J.K. Rowling as a person, and I think her books are mid. They're fine, but they are not as good as a lot of people think they are. And the more things I see about people trying to explain away all of her plot points and everything as totally intentional things that she 100% did, the more I'm like, she had no idea what she just wrote shit. And then the fans explained it all for her.
She crowdsourced her novel. What?
But also, she's a terrible human being, and I do not like her at all. She's not getting any of my money.
All right, so scroll back. Cursed content's like, in this house, we don't talk about J.K. Rowling unless it's derogatory.
I really, it sucks that she turned out to be an absolutely horrible person, because like I wanting to make a video about how I would fix Snape as a character, and now I can't, because I don't want to have anything to do with her. I don't want to use her name to bring in audience for myself. Like, I have no interest in doing that, even though it would be like fixing her character.
I kind of wanted to do a mod of some RPG video game and like write the story of the Potter series, but he's a Slytherin, and you get to know the quote unquote bad guys, and he sees things from their perspective, but like he convinces Slytherin to fight against the Dark Lord, and so you actually see them as heroes and not just one-dimensional villains.
See, I think we could have been clued in to good old JKR's black and white thinking early on if we had been paying more attention to her books.
So we do have a vote. It might be late for this Isla, but we do have a vote from Space Cats that Isla is a mongoose.
No, mongooses are intelligent. Axolotls, however, no thoughts had empty.
Cursed content mentions, do you accept mild non-story spoilers for Lightlark 2 because she has an animal and it's kind of dumb?
I would. I am actually reading through the second. I just started reading through the second Lightlark book for the next read along. I figure I better get on top of it and try to get that out ASAP as soon as I finish with Fourth Wing. But mild spoilers is fine.
Firelight mentions they love the Jurassic Park velociraptors, even if they're more like Utahraptor, which I don't know if they're trying to say Uberraptor or like some other dinosaur name, but yeah, the reality is raptors are like slightly larger than chicken size.
Yeah, most of the time.
In reality.
Our chickens are tiny raptors for sure. If you ever look at a chicken and its little like raptor face, you're like, oh yeah, you're a dinosaur.
Callison mentions Numair. Was that the name you're going?
Yes, Numair. Oh my god, I love Numair. I don't, like I said, I don't often have book boyfriends, but Numair is my book boyfriend.
Cursed content, Homestuck lore energy.
What's Homestuck lore energy? Is that more JKR? Is that what we're going for?
I think so. I'm a little behind. I need to slowly catch up here. I'm trying, Chef. I'm trying.
It's a good thing you're here tonight, because like last time I was able to manage the chat okay because there was not that many people, but like I could not handle this tonight without Adam because the chat's popping off and I love it.
We're not quite a baker's dozen, only a normal dozen.
But like for me, that's really good.
Space Cat. Once I successfully get someone into Prydain, I'll start working on Becca Cooper. Prydain, is that a I feel like I read something in Prydain. Is that the book name or a location? Space Cat, inform me. Daniel asks, do you think Colleen Hoover is the most problematic author or just a bad person?
I have never read any Colleen Hoover, but I have heard people talk about it. And honestly, like, I feel like Colleen Hoover is a product of the publishing industry. like she's been allowed to run rampant by the publishing industry because she makes them lots of money, and so she never has to improve. She never has to think about what she writes. She's just hugely popular.
Apparently, we're not the only ones that were like have an itch to like fix the characters in J.K. Rowling. KJ Amadon developed an entire novel idea because they wanted to fix some of Rowling's characters. They just weren't able to make it fan fiction because the world building of Harry Potter didn't let them. So now they have a new story entirely.
That's the way to do it. That's how I do. Like both Adventurer Mage and the next fantasy series that I'm gonna write are jumping off of. They're like jumping off of fan fiction. They're like fan fiction next level over because
they are the evolved version of fan fiction.
Yep.
KJ was just because I was raging at the way she handled some of her characters.
Yep. Her characters are actually pretty not good. Like, like just poorly. Like everyone's always like, her characters are so great. I'm like, are they? Like, sit down and look at her characters. Like, what can you tell me about them? Hermione, smart, sassy. Ron, brave, ginger. Harry, chosen one.
Okay. Firelight is helping us out with some dino facts. Utahraptors are the name of dinosaurs that look like velociraptors more or less and are actually the size of velociraptors as portrayed in the movie. So they are, except they're like Utahraptors, like nobody's gonna like that name. We'll just keep them the same size and call them velociraptors.
I mean, Velociraptor is a cooler name. They do have those kind of dinosaurs in the Cute Dinosaur game as well, and they are bigger, and they also have feathers, and they're very cute. I'm obsessed with the dinosaur game, collecting the rare colored dinosaurs. My ranch must have all the rares.
And ultra rares.
And ultra rares. I have 2 ultra rares now.
Cursed content chiming in before about the animal, the pet they get from the cursed, whatever book 2 we were talking about before. They get a panther and they name it Lynx.
But why? I did want an animal companion, so I guess I'm not mad about it, but...
Space Cat is going off in the chat because that's a completely different cat.
Please
stop with the name. Oh. Cursed content explains the Homestuck. I was thinking about Homestar Runner, not actual Homestuck when I read that, so I might have slipped and threw Julie off, but Homestuck lore energy, J.K. Rowling's, yes, I meant this the whole time, and I didn't just take other people's theories and run with it. Yeah, that was a Homestuck thing. Yeah.
I never got into Homestuck. I never did. That one missed me. All right, here she is. All of my drawings tonight are taking way too long, but I'm enjoying chatting with everyone, so I guess that's okay. But here we have Isla Crown as an axolotl. Hopefully she is. I think I put enough iconic, recognizable things in there. As you can see, she has the Life Alert bracelet, her crown, because she's always got to have her crown, and of course, the most important feature, egg. Whoever gets this and has not watched my read-alongs is going to be very confused.
I'll have to make a note. Like, you should rewatch my read-along, and then you'll get it. But otherwise, too bad, sucker. All right. Do you know what you're doing for?
No, I don't. What
am
I doing for number 6? Yes.
All right.
I didn't. Oh no, I need to put a star stick in there. Hang on. Let me just. It was never described, so I'm just going to do it.
All right, people. We've got bring up your ideas again. Of course, we've got the Utahraptor for Delphi. What else then? We've got as they put in the star stick. We got some time to get some new ideas.
Star stick added. You see it? It's there. It's a star. It's a stick. It's a star stick.
All right. Cursed content mentioned Julian says, I want to have an animal companion. The monkey paw curls and cuts us all off.
Yeah, she could have had anything. She could have had anything.
Alright, so we got a suggestion for a kiwi bird. We got a suggestion for a Delphi raptor.
Okay, kiwi birds are cute and round, so that one might be winning because, like, I have no thoughts head empty tonight, so cute round animals.
You could have a Halloween themed kiwi bird who has a Halloween costume
Could
or
be-
sitting in a pumpkin.
Could
or
be
on a
sitting.
pumpkin.
Yes, hang on. Let me look up kiwi bird just so I make sure I don't mess it up. But
All right, chat. This will be number 6.
Kiwi
and I think
bird.
we're doing 9. Is that right?
yes, it is.
So we have 3 more to go. So if people want to kind of keep throwing a couple more ideas.
You can see how random my brain is working tonight. Like, I'll be like, ideas coming out everywhere, and then somebody will say something offhand like kiwi bird, and I'm like, it's perfect.
And our prompts were either an emotion or like a place or scene. Like I was hoping for like an iconic, like touristy attraction type place, fantasy setting, or real life, but like whatever, the Walmart, the angry at customers for what is the holiday coming up? Black Friday.
Black Friday.
That works. But like an emotion and a place.
Or cozy themes. We'll also accept cozy.
Cozy themes.
Cozy fall themes.
And yes, if you want to kind of repeat some of your originals that haven't clicked down here, so they're all in the same spot for me, make my job easier. I appreciate you. All right, I'm gonna scroll back up in the chat. Keep your ideas coming. I love them. I just don't want to distract Julian right now. I'm gonna catch her up on the chat, and then we will start giving her some of your ideas. Firelight mentions Ron equals annoying. Firelight also, Perdane is the Black Cauldron series.
Oh, yeah. I loved that series when I was a kid. I need to do a reread.
As did I. Although I hadn't started, did I? No. I hadn't really kicked off my intense reading phase of my life quite yet. I think my third or fourth grade teacher, that sounds about right, Mr. P, would read us the Black Cauldron, and he did voices. He had the most amazing voices for all the characters, especially Gurgi.
Gurgi. His name is Gurgi with a hard G.
And he read us a couple of the series, and I'm like, I don't read books. I only listen to them when my teacher reads it to me. But like a couple of years later, I got into reading and then picked the rest of them up and read them. But yeah, yes, the Perdane series, delightful. John Young asks, which book characters would you be friends with?
My own.
Lame cop-out answer.
Listen, if I could be friends with Maven Valentine, I would in a heartbeat. Like, finishing drafting book 3 made me very sad because it was like I wasn't going to get to adventure with my friends anymore.
So apparently, most of the chat has kind of read the Perdane series, but we've all been like, wow, we read it so long ago, I haven't heard of it, about it in forever.
I own it. I think I have all of them. I might have lost a few because cats peed on some of our books in boxes a while back, and that might have been one of the series that got peed on.
We're repping a little bit on JK here. Twilight Guardian mentions that their books are great for middle grade fiction because let's be honest, there's not a whole lot that goes into middle grade books, but they have the most imaginative ideas.
They do not have the most imaginative ideas. I have definitely read more imaginative books.
I think we're still talking about Potter there.
Yeah.
Space Cat Scribbles, your read along inspired me to do some evolved fan fiction of Light Lark. I basically just took the premise and reworking it from the ground up.
Sometimes you just got to do that. All right. This kiwi bird was really easy to draw because it's just a circle with a beak.
Well, then, real quick.
Hang on, I got to show it out here. Here he is. He's sleeping with a pumpkin. They are friends. I gotta put some Z's so people know he's asleep. How else will they know?
All right, so I'll do my thing.
Okay. There he is.
All right. Firelight says Utheraptors were only discovered after Jurassic Park, so that's why the name issue. All right, so this, let's see.
I don't tolerate profiting off of J.K. Rowling on this channel, but I do tolerate J.K. Rowling slander on this channel. That is very tolerated here.
We got Wombat suggested from Callison, Kiwi Bird in a Tiny Scarf from Space Scribbles. Although cursed content, a pox on the internet click that ruined Kiwi Birds for me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that existed, but I'm sorry. I watch a channel called The Queer Kiwi, which you should watch because she's awesome.
Tiger and cheetah cubs. They could be eating turkeys together. GameStop worker wombat with a GameCube.
I was kind of obsessed with cheetahs when I was a kid. But when I've started to realize how many like obsessions I had as a child and I've forgotten about, like I went through many phases. Like for a while I was really into learning about logging, like old fashioned logging, where they cut up the logs and then they had to like send them down the river and the people would be standing on the logs. And if you fell in, you die. I forgot that for a while as a child, I was obsessed with that. Like some weird obsessions.
We got a chinchilla suggestion, a different kiwi. This one is an author kiwi writing during NaNoWriMo. We got a chili chinchilla as a suggestion.
All right, I had a little bit of an idea. Since everybody's still going kiwis, I'm gonna run with that again.
All right, we've re-inspired a kiwi collection, and this will be number 7.
I believe so. Yes.
So we'll have 2 more to go. And then...
Right, 2 more. Yeah.
Cursed content mentions that you wouldn't like Colleen Hoover because they're horny as hell and you would rage.
That's what I've come to understand is like her books are just about the sex. And I've heard things about her like writing style. Like I've seen like parts of interviews and stuff with her. She's a pantser. Another person giving pantsers a bad name. And she just writes a scene until she gets bored of the scene and then she stops and she doesn't go back in and fix any of it. She fully admits to that she doesn't care. Because like whatever she pumps out now at this point, they will give her all of the money and she doesn't care. And neither do her editors.
Well, and I mean, like if you were honest, if you could write a book and make money on
it
and never edit it,
I know.
You never would edit your stuff either.
At least Brandon Sanderson, even though he also admits that he doesn't do any of his own editing, he has other people do it for him. That's what I want. I want to write the first draft, and then I want people who understand my style really well to take on board all of the notes from my beta readers and stuff and edit the book for me. And then I can publish it. Like that's what Brandon Sanderson does. He still uses beta readers. He just doesn't actually do any of the editing himself. And I can't blame him because I hate it. But like, at least he edits. At least he gets his books edited. Colleen Hoover and her publisher have all but admitted that they don't even bother anymore. They correct the spelling errors and shove it out into the world.
All right. We're almost caught up on chat now. John's got another question. Do you write female characters who are strong but also sometimes flawed? They kind of use Carol Danvers and Captain Marvel as the opposite, as a strong character who doesn't have many flaws.
I mean, I like to think I do. I write women as people and men as people.
Yeah, Rione, is that the
Rione?
Yeah, they were definitely flawed and had some had desk moments for me as I was reading through it. I'm like, come on, Rione.
Maeve, I feel like is pretty flawed. She lets her anxiety win and just like does stuff like knee-jerk reactions, and then Valentine's like, oh my god.
Cursed content. The only good way to consume JK content is on the high seas. And I thought, like, I saw that earlier, and I thought you were going somewhere with it, because you're like, you cast the book into the deepest depths afterwards or something, but like
No,
they
she's
just
referring
end
to being
there.
high.
Oh,
You're supposed to be high while you're reading.
although that type of high seas.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm a square. I didn't catch that.
At least I assume I'm also a square, but I feel like that's probably what it is.
In my defense, I was just talking to my brother from another mother, and their other brother from another mother is a sailor and goes to sea, and they were just like celebrating today, and so I was thinking the actual high seas. So, alright, let's catch up. Twilight Guardian says, I was talking about middle grade as a whole, but go off, I guess. Let Trader rule your opinion. So that was when we assumed they were talking about J.K. Rowling's book. I'm like, no, I was just talking about middle grade in general, but you ride that wave of hate.
I will. I'm like, I'm the person who, when somebody says they're mad, I'm like, good. Let your hate flow through you. I go full Emperor from Star Wars. Also, if anybody ever wants to see how well I do with my characters, there's a real easy way you can do that. I have books that you can read.
Some of them you can get without even paying for them.
Yeah, if you want to read my stuff for free and you don't mind typos, I do have books, yes, and short stories available on Wattpad to read for free. And then I have published books as well, if you prefer things to be, spell checked.
So Firelight says, Colleen Hoover is basically contemporary Sarah J. Maas, but apparently SJM has gone through many editors. I get the feeling from the way you phrase that like they burn their editors up, that the editor tries and then she like steals their soul and casts them into the fire pits of hell or something. And
I wouldn't be surprised if she did that. That would not surprise me. The funny thing is, I've not read any Sarah J. Maas, but I've heard somewhere that she can actually write. And with her very first books, she had to. And then once she started having success with Fairy Smut, she never had to try ever again. That's what I've heard. I've not read her books, but somebody said that. I don't remember who. This picture started out well, and now it's making me angry. So
I think cursed content. We both failed to understand cursed content.
Okay.
Reference to the high seas. I think they were referring to pirates.
Oh, piracy. Yes.
Because they don't want to give money to a raging transphobes.
Yes. We do not support giving money to transphobes here. If you must read, I mean, there is always the library. You don't have to turn to a life of crime. There is always the library.
Or if you want to like really stick it to them, you can get it on Audible, listen to it, and then return it.
I don't know if they let you do that anymore. They were having a problem with that before, but I think they have kind of stopped
finally
doing that.
fixed that.
Yeah.
Thank you, cursed content, for your patience with us.
We're
oblivious.
Listen, I warned you all that it was a no brain cell night for me. This drawing started out real good, and it's gone downhill significantly.
So, Julian, have you read any of Sarah J. Maas's works?
I thought I hadn't, but I have, actually. I read Throne of Glass a very long time ago, and I tried to read book 2 and got like 2 chapters in and was like, this is crap, and stopped. Like, the first one was okay enough for me to try the next book, and then I was like, no, I hate this. That's enough of that.
Do you think that they themselves are problematic, or they're just making too strong of female characters, and that's just getting people upset?
Who?
Sarah J. Maas?
Sarah J. Maas makes too strong of female characters?
What was the question in the chat?
I guess I can't speak to it because I haven't read enough of her, but I would not say that she writes strong female characters. I would say, from what I've heard, She writes the standard archetype female love interest who is like just plucky enough that you can like follow her, but mostly she is there to be growled at by sexy men.
Firelight mentions they were frustrated by SJM's early stuff. They did get better, but then they wrote Fairy Smut, which apparently, like, is that continuing on their upward trend? Or
yeah, the Fairy Smut is all she writes now, and she doesn't get it edited, and nobody cares.
Unedited stream of conscious Fairy Smut.
Correct.
Cursed Content's new headcanon is that Colleen Hoover goes through so many editors because they try to make the books better, and she says no.
Yeah, I don't think Colleen Hoover is even, like, I think she'll be the first to tell you. I don't think she's even sad about it. She is not interested in making her books better. I don't think she wants to write, like, well-crafted books. I don't think she cares. And, like, honestly, good for her. She's making a living at it. She's making gangbusters at it. Like... I can't even be that mad when people get that bag.
All right. Firelight, like, don't get me started on Throne of Glass. That series is my nemesis.
Everybody's got to have a nemesis. I think I inadvertently picked the Savior series as mine, but...
Firelight goes on that her strong female characters need to be saved constantly.
Yeah, I don't think they're actually that strong, and I don't think they really have personalities. Ever. No. From what I've heard.
We've got Twilight from Guardian from earlier conversation mentions they don't support giving money to anyone who outwardly spouts their political opinions, which is reasonable.
Oh, you might not want to give me money then because I'm fairly opinionated. I don't like talk politics on my channel or anything, but like it's pretty easy to tell where I stand politically if you pay any attention whatsoever. And I've got some people who still watch me and clearly are on the other, very much the other side of the aisle from where I stand politically. And I'm like, you don't have to be here.
So if they're of the same quality, do you like say they're both good? Would you prefer to read standalone books and just read, or read series?
Standalones.
If the standalones were lower quality, like the standalone was okay and the series was good, would you prefer to read an okay standalone over a good quality, better quality series?
See, if you could promise me that the series stayed good quality for every book in that series, I would happily read the better series. But so often you read book one and you're like, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And then you get to book two and you're like, All right, I kind of hate this one, but I need to stop drawing it because I have to end the stream at some point tonight. It is a cheetah being confused by a kiwi because they are not from the same continent.
Sure it's not a lynx?
I am positive.
Can't tell which one is more confused.
All right, 2 more postcards. We can do this. Give me something simple.
Delphi is a velociraptor.
That's not simple.
It does have the velociraptor face and a toe and a claw going shink. How about this? How about this?
There's like a head with a giant toe sticking on it.
Yeah, how about this? We just have a giant toe and a velociraptor claw. The claw is coming down to go shink on the toe.
Oh, that would mean I'd have to draw a toe.
Round thing.
Ooh.
Firelight was definitely jumping on that first one in the chat. Delphi Velociraptor, all caps. Someday.
I'm not saying never, just maybe not for this stream. I gotta finish the stream at some point.
We have chili chinchillas, chinchilla with a scarf.
Chili chinchilla. Chilchilla.
We've got the red panda telling ghost stories around the fire.
Red pandas are pretty round and cute.
We've got the tiger having freshly eaten turkeys from the turkey farm.
Let me look at red pandas.
A cozy camping raccoon.
I've done a camping raccoon at least once, I feel like. I still have I'm Just Ken stuck in my head, by the way. If anyone was wondering how that's going. Did anybody here see Turning Red? Speaking of red pandas, it's a very cute movie.
Oh, I remember that one. Yes.
Yeah, it's cute.
A raccoon as Ken from I'm Just Ken. Or an alpaca. Or a raccoon and a red panda confused by each other. All right, scrolling back up to catch up on the chat.
I'm just Ken.
Space Cat Scribble asks, random question, how many animals do you guys have? They sometimes seem to be infinite. And Judy's right.
To us as well, they sometimes seem to be infinite.
Sometimes seem to be infinite.
All right, Adam, start counting on your fingers, all right?
We can't even tell them all apart.
Yeah, sometimes we do struggle. We have to look at behavior for a couple of them to tell who's who. All right, start counting your fingers.
So we start with number 1 is a doggo. We have one doggo.
Kaylee dog.
Our oldest. She's not our oldest, but she might have been with us the longest.
Yeah, technically Misqua is the oldest.
Yeah, but Misqua hasn't been with us longer. Right?
Did we get Misqua before we got Kaylee?
I think we got Kaylee before we got Misqua.
I think Kaylee has maybe been here the longest.
Yes. One doggo who's been with us the longest. We then have 2 kitties. Nigel, who is not quite visible, but has fallen asleep.
Yeah, he's zonked out next to me. He is unconscious.
And Her Majesty Emperor Giorgio,
who's a newer member of the family.
One of our newest members. And then we have 3 chickens that we inherited from a friend, Hoggle, Henrietta, and
Myrtle, aka Myrt. Bless her heart. Only one brain cell. There's always that one friend who has only one brain cell, and that is Myrt.
That brings us to 6 critters, but then we were discussing just a moment ago, Misqua, our boss mare, she is the boss of a herd of 3 total mares. And that is Aldib, who if you're a Wheel of Time fan, you may recognize the name of. And then we have Mouse, Julian's pony. That brings us to 9. And then we have a serious business on our hands as well, for we have 5 more ferrets, bringing us to a total of 14 of our own pets. We do also have Ghost, the barn cat that we inherited when we bought this place.
Ghost technically belongs to the neighbors, but she never goes back to her old house anymore. She lives here now.
Indeed. There is also a flock of turkeys that visits us pretty regularly.
They are not domestic.
But they are not domestic. And there is the aquatic creature. Have we
the muskrat?
Is a muskrat?
It's a muskrat. I've seen it.
We have the muskrat in the pond that had one play date with our ferrets. They tussled leaves at each other. It's like, don't come into my shrubbery.
The ferrets would lose a fight with the muskrat. Maybe not Tendy. Maybe not Tendy.
And our ferrets' name, we have Lan and Moraine, who are our oldest ferrets. And then we have 3 young ferrets. Chai, who was our palate cleanser as we transitioned to a new naming theme. And Aldib, Lamb, and Moraine is the old naming theme. And the new naming theme is Tendy and Jadzia, if anyone in the audience can guess what that naming theme is from.
If one of our viewers is still here, they will know.
All right. I've been looking away from chat to answer that question. I think we had, 14 actual, and then a couple bonus ones that might not be factually ours. Let's see.
When you actually count them out all out like that, we have a lot of pets.
We do have a lot of pets.
I mean, many of them do live outside. Like the horses live outside, the chickens live outside.
All right, I think I know. We're okay. Going back to SJM, female characters, from what I understand, are superficially strong. And Firelight's like, yeah, she's the world's greatest assassin, but she cannot do anything herself unless she's basically murdering everyone. I can murder everyone, and that is it. You want me to do anything else? I need help. PB&J, nope, sorry. I can kill you to death with that butter knife. I can't make a sandwich, though. There's no. By the way, you have to finish these last two within 60 minutes, or you will lose my assistance, and my computer will reboot.
Time limit. I gotta stop being so detailed.
6-0. You do have 6-0 minutes, but
you know, with how long it's taken me to draw this red panda.
And Twilight Guardian mentions there's a difference between having political opinions and being a political variant of a Bible thumper. But if you prefer, I can stop having you as my editor.
I mean, I assume you know what my political leanings are at this point.
They're like, I do like you as my editor, though.
I like editing for you, so please keep me.
And Firelight, basically everyone has politics on their platform.
Yeah, you can't escape it. Art involves politics a lot of the time. My politics are in my art. My politics are in my books. I can't help it.
You might know. I don't know if you watch them too, but there's the British London tour guide who has like a channel that I watch their content of.
I don't know who that is. No.
But they're basically doing a history review of history and Boudica, and how like we basically know nothing about Boudica because people didn't start writing about Boudica until like 100 years or 200 years after Boudica's death, and they were all writing to like advance their own political agenda. And
men, what is that? Men using women to enhance their political agenda?
And like Boudica probably wasn't even the person's name because it's the native Celtic language's word for victory, basically. And yeah, but there's still a statue of Boudica in London, and Boudica is taught in London. And they went on the content creator was like, well, how do we depoliticize this? And we get to Boudica was a woman not named Boudica. That is what we know. That is this is all we know that is not politicized. There was a Celtic woman who might have married a dude.
Yep.
All right, back to the chat. Cozy. Tiger snacking on turkeys, raccoon. Ooh. Let's see. Raccoon is Ken. I'll pack up box. All right. Old ideas. When red pandas stand up to be scary, they just remind me of toddlers. I mean, you're not wrong.
Such intimidation. Very scary.
John Young asks, who's the better protagonist, Geralt from The Witcher or Jon Snow?
I don't know because I've only ever watched The Witcher show, and I didn't even watch Sexy Dragon Show. What is it?
Game of Thrones.
Yes, Game of Thrones. I didn't even watch Game of Thrones. Adam maybe can answer.
They're both broody. Geralt is more competent, though, and if you incorporate the video games at like Geralt has a greater arc and growth than Jon Snow. Like Jon Snow doesn't really grow even after he dies and gets resurrected. He doesn't really grow. He's still more or less the same
He's still,
guy.
you know nothing, Jon Snow, or whatever that meme is.
Yeah, you know nothing, Jon Snow. So I would say Geralt is a better protagonist overall.
All right, I need to stop sketching at this because I got to do one more before Adam's reboots. I was gonna do him a red panda sitting with a raccoon, but then I realized the raccoon was complex, and so I just drew another kiwi. But he is roasting a marshmallow using his beak.
This is randomly becoming a Kiwi themed
Yeah,
stream.
because they're just little round borbs, and I can draw round things real good.
Good job, dear. Way to draw round things. All right, we got a couple new ideas. Bigfoot dressed as the rollerblading Barbie.
I feel like that's already on a T-shirt somewhere.
I know, but it's not on a postcard from you. Go back up. Tiger snacking on turkeys. Tiger cuddling with turkeys. Raccoon as Ken from Just Ken. Alpaca. Fennec as a fox.
I feel like
Chili chinchilla.
Oh, all right.
Delphi as a velociraptor.
Delphi as a velociraptor. Borb stream. Orb borb.
Orb borb.
Orb borb stream. Chickens, when they're cold, they just go full orb. It's pretty cute. You look outside and the chickens are just like circle with a head on top.
Like, in response to your earlier comment, Jon Snow knows nothing. Geralt probably does.
Maybe.
Yeti in a pumpkin patch. Velociraptors.
Come on, brain,
Kiwi
just one more
riding
postcard.
NaNoWriMo.
What NaNoWriMo?
Kiwi riding NaNoWriMo.
They don't even have any like how would they do? They have to hunt
with
and
a
peck.
pox. A wombat riding an alpaca. A wombat GameStop store employee.
We're getting more and more specific. We just get the scenarios just get more specific as we go here.
Once again, Delphi Velociraptor.
I'm not saying never, but probably I'm just not feeling it for this stream.
You need to get a new Patreon level.
That's just
explicitly just.
I will draw whatever unhinged thing you want from the stream if you pay this much.
I was gonna say it was gonna specifically be I will draw any themed Velociraptor.
Oh, very specific. Highland cow. Oh, Highland cows are cute.
Ooh, a chupacabra.
No, that's a kookaburra, Adam, not a chupacabra.
Oh, I thought they spelled chupacabra.
As in kookaburra sits in the old gum tree, Mary, Mary, king of the bush is he. That one. Yeah.
How about you do a jackalope?
Oh, I like that. Good suggestion, Adam. The chat's gonna be so mad. Everybody in the chat's like throwing out ideas, and Adam's just like jackalope, and I'm like sold. I do have to look up the jackalope to make sure I get all of the features.
Alright.
I'm so sorry, chat. I warned you that it was a no brain cells kind of evening, and
well, people will save their ideas, such as the Bigfoot dressed as a rollerblading Barbie. We got several upvotes and encouragements for that as an amazing postcard. If you were to write a knockoff of another fantasy book, or like maybe do like an inspired, a book that was inspired by, would you be more likely that it'd be Lord of the Rings, or Game of Thrones, or The Witcher?
None of the above.
So, not that it's actually a knockoff, but Adventurer Mage is kind of video game inspired, so might like has themes that run parallel mechanically to the world of The Witcher.
The video game world of The Witcher, anyway.
Yeah. Trying to think.
I suppose I lose all of my cred with everyone if I tell people that I never finished Lord of the Rings. I read the first book and got partway through the Two Towers and hated it, so I stopped.
I mean, you did read and enjoy The Hobbit.
I love The Hobbit, but I don't think that earns me any nerd cred because technically that is a children's book.
I mean, you've got some cozy fantasy vibes from like The Hobbit. Like you're definitely not in like. I was listening to someone who's like, there's 3 types of Lord of the Rings fans, and there's the cozy Hobbit fans, and there's the trilogy is the best fans, and then you've got the Silmarillion is the best fans.
I am the cozy Hobbit.
I am a little bit of the Silmarillion.
Don't even ask me I have no idea what the Silmarillion even is doing.
I mean, you know what it is, though.
I know what it is,
you
but
don't
like,
know what it's doing.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, my tinnitus just switched tempos, or not tempos, frequencies, whatever it is. Pitches? It's pitches. My tinnitus just switched pitches. It went from high pitch to a lower pitch, just in case anyone's keeping track of what my tinnitus is doing at any given time.
So, Space Cat appreciates the new naming scheme, by the way, for our ferrets. Excellent new naming scheme.
I knew somebody would get it and appreciate it.
So the animals aren't quite infinite, but they are pretty close to it.
Infinite ferrets. It doesn't help that Chai and Tendi look identical now. Like,
yes,
Chai used to be a chunky butt, but she has slimmed down as she has matured, and now she and Chai are. We have to look at their behavior because you can't identify them.
Although they do learn from each other, and Chai is now starting to reach up like Tendi does, but Tendi will reach up and grab on, and Chai will reach up, and then she started licking me.
Tendi will also jump. Chai doesn't usually jump. Tendi's a jumper. She'll leap for things.
Yes, our Tendi is very much the energy levels of their namesake, Tendi.
She is, Tendi the ferret is a lot. She's a lot. We love her for it.
So you feel you've watched a lot of movies this year, or more than others, or a movie you want to call out as a quality movie from 23?
Talk to me. That horror movie that we saw with the hand. If you like horror movies, I enjoyed that. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is the new best horror movie I've ever seen, but I really liked it.
Talk to me. Yeah, that was definitely an unexpected quality one.
I definitely want to watch it again because I think there's details that I missed watching it through the first time.
All right. I'm doing a quick thing.
What are you bigging up, Adam? He's left the chat, everyone.
Okay. So, KJ Abaddon is clarifying, not a fennec fox as in the character, an actual fennec fox. It is a breed / type of
I do
fox.
know what a fennec fox is.
I do not.
I'm sorry, dear. Yeah, what sort of life must you lead without fennec foxes in it?
We have enough other pets at the moment. We don't need a fennec fox.
Dude, don't we though? I mean, they're really cute.
They are really cute. Chickens. They're the foxes with the really big ears, KJ says. Oh goodness. I have pinned up some images, and oh goodness.
They're very cute.
I've got like the first one that shows up is like big face, big sad face with giant ears, just being like, oh goodness. Twilight Guardian asks, do you include all of the video games or just the one single video game that people know?
I don't know what that pertains to.
That might be coming back to the Adventure Mage and the fact that it's kind of inspired by video game mechanics. They were thinking, I brought it up as in like it kind of runs similar to The Witcher because of the video game inspiration. Do you wish to clarify?
It's a lot cozier than The Witcher. Danger still happens, but.
So if I remember, so it's Adventure Mage is not inspired by The Witcher specifically.
No.
But if I remember correctly, you had a dream of like a video game level. And that was, you decided that would be the first encounter for May and Valentine.
I don't think so. I don't usually turn my dreams into book things. My dreams are a little bit too nonsensical. Their first encounter.
Might not have been the first encounter. It might have been the climax of the spider one. The spider encounter.
That is heavily based on an encounter in a video game, like a minor one, like not a boss fight. I kind of turned it into a boss fight, but it's just like a minor encounter.
But yeah, it's not specifically The Witcher that it was based off of, but like there are definitely video like. The world for Adventure Maeve comes a little bit more Adventure Maeve.
She does adventure.
Adventure Mage is a little bit more inspired, like especially the world building around it is a little bit more inspired by video games than
it kind of has a video game feel. There's dungeon crawling, there's adventuring, the quest basically. All right, here's the jackalope, kind of just a regular old sort of creature for the ending of this stream. Nothing terribly special except for the antlers about this little fella, but he's cute. And I put him up too high on the card, so I wrote a little slogan for him on the bottom. All right, so let's go through the cards that we have done today. I have so much inking and coloring to do later. All right.
Firelight does quick mention that we need a theme month that's just ideas Julian didn't draw from previous themes, so Firelight can get all the shit they want you to draw drawn.
That would never happen, Firelight, because you keep coming up with new stuff for me to draw. All right, so here we have my first, which was just a hedgehog in a cute little sweater with a hot cocoa. And then we have donkey with pumpkin cart. And then we have a sad possum retail worker. We have General Kenobi with Layla and Flynn as a chipmunk, but like sized appropriately so she can sit on his shoulders. This is a deep cut. No one's going to understand what the fuck that is. We have Isla, the axolotl, with all of the important things. We have a kiwi and a pumpkin. This will at least be easy to ink and color. We have a cheetah being confused by a kiwi bird. We have a red panda and a kiwi roasting marshmallows together, looking very serious. I don't know why. And
it's cold.
Yes, because it's cold. And we have the jackalope, the noble jackalope, majestic creature. Those are all of our postcards for this month. If anybody has any closing thoughts before we end out the stream, which went for almost 2 hours, so my goodness. But hey, it was a very lively chat, and I appreciate that. Y'all are the bestest. What you doing over there, Adam?
Catching up to the chat and seeing if there's anything you drastically want to call out that you can't just like quickly reread or something.
Okay.
I was only like one screen length behind when we wrapped up.
I have read some Percy Jackson. I read, I think, all of the original series, and then I kind of got bored of Percy Jackson because they're kind of the same, like, as each other. The books, they're kind of the same. Like, I'm not a big middle grade person, and they're very middle grade-y, and it's just, it was fine. It wasn't doing it for me, though. I know. But also, I don't really like urban, I guess you could call it, fantasy as much. So, never read Percy Jackson. I hated that it read to me like their disability wasn't real and was only because of magic. Yeah, a lot of people I know felt seen by that, I guess, that his dyslexia was actually because he was not human. So I guess, like, a lot of people really liked that element, but I can also see how that could be annoying, where it's like his dyslexia is dismissed. It's actually a magic power. Riordan has improved a lot in diversity and rep since his first few books. That's good. Shadow Booster liked writing down their dreams. I should write down my dreams more because I've been having some real crazy ones. Last night you had a dream that you met your dog's grandbabies. That's a good dream. The other night I had a dream that my sister adopted 3 adorable pet rats. They were very cute. I told her that she had to do that now. I was like, I dreamed it.
Your poor sister, they die so quickly. And she's
I
already
know,
lost so many.
but she did say that she's open to more rats should they come into her life. So, It must be agonizing to be well known for one of your first works when you've improved so much. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about Tamara Pierce as well. I'm like, read her other stuff. Like, yeah, Song of the Lioness is good. I will always love Alana, but like, read her later stuff, please. That's how I feel about it too. And that's kind of how I feel about me as well, because I feel like I'm always improving. So.
Yes. Do not worry. I am preserving her original works.
Yeah, Adam likes my old stuff. I don't know why, but he does.
Not just like I definitely I see how you've grown as I've been rereading Child of Fire, but it's still.
I should hope so. You can't tell that I've grown from that. I've done fucked up. I did it wrong.
That was only 14 years ago.
Space Cat likes my small streams because they are friendly and fun. Yeah, that's the advantage of small streams, is like I can keep up with the chat and chat with everybody. All right. Unless anybody has any final closing thoughts, I think I will close down this stream for us all. So one of these nights I should do another just cozy chat stream, but I don't know when I'm going to do that.
We could have maybe not a night, although the night would be bad, a cozy chat stream in the ferret room. And then we could slowly introduce you to our
ferret chat stream. I mean, you've seen most of them. I think at one time or another you've seen each of the ferrets during various videos, because I tend to film while they're out because it's difficult to do a lot else while they're out because they are so chaotic. And so like when I'm filming, I can kind of like keep an ear at least open to what they're doing.
And they bring a good positive energy to the atmosphere as you're filming.
Yeah, KJ says, I hate how my most popular is also my weakest novel, but I guess sometimes that's how it goes. Yeah, I am kind of worried, like, well, part of my problem is whatever book I write is my favorite one. Whatever book I currently have most recently written is my favorite one. But I think Adventurer Mage is going to stick with me for a long time. And I love Adventurer Mage, and I'm proud of Adventurer Mage, and like the fewest people have read it or seem interested in reading it. So it's like, oh. But it's my best one, and it's going to be a series.
It is a series.
It is a series. I just haven't edited.
You haven't gotten book 5 completely mocked up yet, but...
Well, that would require me to have done something about book 4, and there's not one of those either. I've been watching videos, editing Jenna's writing, and it's made me feel better about my own. Yeah, I'm curious to see what her next book is going to be. I haven't even, has anyone here caught any of her writing streams? I keep meaning to see if I can get like a feel for how her next book is going to be, but I have not caught any of her streams. And all she does is stream right now, which is fine. It's her channel. Like, yes, I can do the things and it's in my writing. Yay. Yeah. The funny thing about writing is like as soon as you fix one of your issues, another one becomes way more noticeable. So like as soon as I fix like one thing that I'm bad at, I'm like, and then my betas are like, "Oh, you do this now," and I'm like, "Excellent." You're never done cooking. You're never done growing. you just after you master some stuff, the other stuff that you have yet to master is revealed, and people are like, "Oh, also you do that." It's like, mm-hmm. I hate when I just open one of my books randomly and I start reading and immediately there's a sentence that I want to fix. I'm like, why did I use those two similar words in that close of proximity? What was I thinking?
By the way, today was, I think it was actually yesterday, was a historic day. A little tidbit from us. We are from the great land of milk and cheese, and this past week, Wisconsin was the first state to officially name a state cocktail. The brandy old fashioned is our official state cocktail.
And one of Adam's favorite drinks. Or your favorite drink? Is it your favorite one?
It's my go-to. Yeah, I'd say it's my favorite mixed drink, my favorite cocktail.
Twilight Guardian wrote something that they never edited or published anywhere. I mean, that's pretty normal. I have a lot of early books that were never, and quite frankly, a lot of books that aren't as early that I haven't done anything with. So I feel like it's pretty normal to have stuff that you're like, I wrote this. This was fun, but just set it over there. Let's see. I still can't get past the parallels to The Savior's Sister with a quote from Complete Idiot's Guide to Writing Erotic Romance I found. Sticking with me. My weakest, I actually published with the least amount of editing because I was convinced it sucked and no one would read it. And it got attention and I'm still mortified. I mean, you want to talk confusing. Like, you guys know that I'm publishing Second Floor, which is by far my most popular work. And like, it is also incredibly crunchy. And I'm working to make it less crunchy, but like, of my works, it is the least like sensical and like you just have to, it's vibes. But apparently people love the vibes because it was like far and away. Like if you want to, you can go on Wattpad and look at the stats. Somebody did and they were like, "Oh my God, you weren't kidding." Like compare that to any of my other works on Wattpad. And I don't know why. I don't know why. I've got stuff that's way better written. People like Second Floor. I don't know. But I'm going to publish it because might as well. I'm in the process of writing a home invasion scene and I can't get through because I keep freaking myself out. Yeah, that doesn't usually happen to me, but I could see that being something for sure. Like freaking yourself out with your own writing. I make myself sad with my own writing sometimes. Like, oh, good. Now I'm sad. And then I go, I hope I make my audience sad too. And then we can be sad together. So I switched to a tragic murder scene, which is not easier. No, switch to the happy sunshine scene. All right. I'm going to leave you all for tonight. Maybe I'll go play some more dinosaur game or something. But thanks so much for joining the chat. And it was lovely to talk to all of you again. And we will try to maybe have a hangout stream at some point here. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But until then, good night unto you all.
Thank you for joining us. Night.
Let people say their goodbyes. Let the chat catch up so people can say bye. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Oh, Shadow Booster specifically says goodbye to you, Adam. What happened to the person who was stabbed with a pumpkin? He was gored.
Excellent.
They said goodbye to you, Nigel. You want to give them a little brr? No, I do not want to do that, actually, Mother. Pretend Nigel gave you all a little goodbye. All right, bye, buddy.